Hi, my name is Nur Shahira binti Abdul Talib. I want to discuss about severe flooding occur in Kelantan and Terengganu in 2019 and 2020. Malaysia is strategically located on the map as it is outside of the Pacific Ring of Fire, which make natural disasters such as earthquake and volcanic eruption more difficult to occur. Even though Malaysia is fortunate to be located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, natural disasters such as flooding are not unavoidable. Each year, the monsoon flood has caused significant harm to the Malaysian population, including agricultural devastation, animal loss, property damage, health degradation, and human life loss, particularly on Malaysia's East Coast. The Welfare Department's Flood Disaster Portal said the number of displaced victims is still large in Kelantan and Terengganu each year, and it becomes worse if the flood is severe. The flooding in Kelantan and Terengganu has resulted in significant losses for both victims and government. To accommodate the incoming evacuees, various total flood relief centres were opened. Pasir Mas and Besut is the hardest impact district, according to Terengganu Malaysian Civil Defence Force (APM). Floods cost the state of the Kelantan and Terengganu more than R1 million each year. The flood situation in the both states appears to be deteriorating with a significant increase in the number of evacuees.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nazina binti Amal Yusof. Today I want to present about the effects of flood according to the OSH and Environmental Act. Introduction. The causes of flood in Kelantan and Terengganu are due to the combination of natural and human factors. A heavy rainfall is a natural factor that can cause flood in the region. Also, human activities such as large-scale reforestation and uncontrolled development have also contributed to the worsening of the flood in Kelantan and Terengganu. Occupational Safety and Health OSH Act 1994. Section 15 of OSH Act 1994 requires employers to ensure the safety and health of the employees at work. These include providing personal protective equipment and training workers involved in flood management efforts. This because flood water can be polluted with toxic elements such as chemicals, sewage, and debris, posing a serious risk to human health. This can jeopardize the safety of rescue professionals and the volunteers helping the flood relief activities. Workers and volunteers working in flood management operations should be given with appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, and the training to reduce the risk of injury and disease. Environmental Quality Act 1974. The Environmental Quality Act 1974 provides for prevention, abatement, and control of pollution and environmental degradation. This includes measures to prevent water pollution caused by floods. Furthermore, deforestation has led to the soil erosion, which in turn causes rivers to become shallower and narrower, leading to more severe flooding during heavy rains. Flood can also cause damage to environment, include loss of vegetation, soil erosion, and water pollution. In addition, climate change is expected to increase the frequency and severity of floods in region, which can have long-term impact on the environment. Lastly, environmental impact measures can crucial to mitigate the impact of flood and environment. The large-scale deforestation and uncontrolled development have contributed to the worsening of flood in Kelantan and Terengganu. National Forestry Act 1984. According to the National Forestry Act 1984 provides for the conservation, management, and development of forests in Malaysia. This also includes measures to prevent deforestation, which has contributed to the worsening of floods in Kelantan and Terengganu because of the effect large-scale deforestation has one of the factor floods worsened in that state. In conclusion, the Occupational Safety, Health and Environment Act and the other related laws has specific provisions that apply during floods in Kelantan and Terengganu. This provision includes measures to ensure the safety and health of workers involved in flood management efforts, prevent water pollution caused by floods, and prevent deforestation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fikrie bin Ridwan. Okay, my matric number B0819101003. Okay, today I will explain about what happened in victims in details. Okay, impact on victims, ethical issue and law regulation. Okay, based on my research. On Kelantan and Terengganu floods 2019-2020. Okay, we can see ada poster impact on victim. Flooding can have several consequences, okay, for effects individuals and communities. Victims may experience displacement from their homes, loss of personal belongings, okay, damage to property and disruption of daily life. Okay, they may also have faced health risks such as waterborne disease and physically trauma. Okay, the extent of this impact can vary depending on the severity of the floods and the preparedness and resilience of the affected communities. Okay, at the poster you can see the ethical issue. Okay. First, fairness and equity. Okay, flood impacts often disproportionately affect vulnerable population such as low-income communities or marginalized groups, ensuring equitable access to resources, assistance, and recovery effort is crucial to avoid exacerbating existing social inequalities. Okay, prioritization of resources. Second point, okay, limited resources may require difficult decision on how to allocate aid and support. Okay, ethical consideration involve determine who receive assistance first and ensuring that resources are distributed fairly and effectively. Okay, transparency and accountability. For the third point, effective combination, transparency and accountability from authorities and relief organizations are essential to address ethical concerns. Okay, clear guidelines for resource allocation, decision-making processes and the use of public funds should be in place. Okay. Next, I will explain about law regulation. Okay, several federal and state level legislation and enactment have been devised in response to minimize flooding occurrences. Okay, National Land Court 1959 enable the National Land Council to ensure state comply with the land code, which include floods mitigation, whereby water bodies, rivers, drains or ponds must be provided with reserve through a land acquisition process. Okay, Water Act 1920 ensure provision for river conservancy and flood mitigation, such as imposing license requirement for water abstraction, efficient discharge, filling of trees and building of structures. Okay, Drainage Work Act 1964 enables the idea to build, operate and maintain designated damage seam to prevent flooding. Other legislation include the Local Government Act 1976, which allows safe governments to impose and collect damage contribution used for maintenance of draining facilities. Widening, deepening and cleaning of drains. Okay, the Land Composition Act, Environmental Quality Act 1974 and Uniform Building Bylaws. Okay.
Assalamualaikum. So as for my part, I would like to discuss the solution that can overcome the floods that happen in Kelantan and Terengganu. So in order to address the issue of flooding in Kelantan and Terengganu, it is possible to implement the ethical problem-solving methodologies in conjunction with the Occupational Safety, Health, Environment and Risk Assessment Code, or SHIRAC, to develop effective solutions. So here are some suggestions. So firstly, risk assessment. To determine the most vulnerable areas to flooding, it is essential to conduct a thorough risk assessment. This assessment should encompass several factors, including but not limited to historical flood data, topography and land use patterns. Next is early warning systems. So implementing a strong early warning systems that incorporate advanced technology and real-time data is crucial in providing timely alerts to communities that may be at risk. This may involve the installation of flood sensors, weather monitoring systems, as well as communication channels aimed at disseminating warnings. Then infrastructure development. So enhance and elevate the current infrastructure to endure floods. So this may entail building flood walls, levees and retention ponds, along with improving drainage networks and fortifying riverbanks. And the last one is community engagement and education. So educate and increase the awareness of flood risk, preparedness and response measures among the local communities. So foster community involvement in the development of flood management plans and engage them in decision-making process.
My name is iffah. I will present the infographic number 5, which is the solution suggestion from our group related to the issue group number 5. So the first solution is a proper drainage system. Blockages in drainage system is one of the main causes of flood, as water will accumulate in unwanted areas when there is no place for water to flow. So it is very important to clean drainage around your home regularly to avoid rubbish and leaf piling up and block drainage paths. Solution number 2 is control development and logging in forest areas. Forests can retain excess rainwater, prevent extreme runoff and reduce the damage from flood. They can also help mitigate the effects of drought. Forests can soak up excess rainwater, preventing runoff and damage from flood. Even trees' leaves help prevent flood. How? When raindrops bounce off them, the water doesn't hit the ground as hard. The third solution is deepen the river. River restoration contributes to flood risk management by supporting the natural capacity of rivers to retain water. As flood risk consists of damage times occurrence, flood risk management needs to reduce either the damage or the floods to occur, or maybe both. River restoration reduces the height of water levels and improve the natural function of the river at same time. Suggestion number 4 is to install water sensor or flood detection system. Flood sensors are devices installed to assist in preventing damage caused by water within a house. When the sensor comes in contact with water from a leak or water that has come in from outside the home, the sensor then sends the signal to your security system, alerting you immediately. With a flood sensor, you can alleviate some of worry. You will never come home to the surplus of water in your home with flood sensors installed. The last suggestion is organize an awareness campaign about flood issues. Sometimes flood can't be avoided, but we can minimize the effect. Good preparation and knowing what to do in a flood will increase your safety and chance of survival if it happens in your area. It can also help minimize potential flood damage and accelerate recovery efforts. Thank you.